Welcome to a collective reading. This is going to be for May. It's a little early. I usually like to do it right around closer to the start of May, but for some reason I feel excited about May, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I did the pre-shuffle and meditation. We pulled these three cards. We've got three really powerful goddesses coming in for us in the beginning of May here. We have Beset, who is the goddess, the Egyptian goddess of domesticity, fertility, caring for the home. This card comes in and asks us to maybe spruce up the home, focus on family affairs, focus on the domestic life. We've got Hecate coming in, Mama Hecate, and she's, of course, the crossroads goddess. Oops. All right. And the Hierophant wanted to jump out with that. So I feel like Hecate has something to show us or teach us, representing some higher knowledge. This card usually comes in as a crossroads card. So it's usually when there's a turning point or a crossroads that we're looking at. A choice that needs to be made. Hecate is the light bearer, the torch bearer. She comes in to shine light on a subject for us to help us make a decision. And then over here we have, I'm going to say Ciridwin. Ciridwin? I'm sure I'm butchering that. The more Celtic goddesses are not exactly my forte, but this is a card of uh, ingenuity. It comes in and says that we have the pieces of what we need to do what we need to do. It's about resourcefulness, using what we have at our disposal. Sort of with all of these cards coming out together for May, it's giving the feeling of to get our affairs in order, get our home life situation in order, get everything taken care of. Because we're at a turning point, a crossroads. There is some information coming in about that, something to help us make a decision. I do feel like it is something that needs to be a choice. Like, it's there for you. You have the pieces, the ingredients, I want to say, for the, because there's all of these like things going into the potion there, and it feels like this is saying that we have all of the ingredients, all of the resources we need at our disposal for something to come in, a major turning point or a major shifting of things. But it does need to be a conscious choice on our part, and there is some information wanting to come in, some light wanting to be shed on that for us in order to help us make the right decision for ourselves. Let's get some tarot on top of it. Let's see what it has to say. Got the Five of Wands, the Ace of Cups coming in, and the Page of Swords coming in on top of this. And this is about getting our home affairs in order, getting our life situated here. There is certainly a need to be honest with ourselves if we're having if we're having difficulty with things conflicting with what it is we really want. The Ace of Cups is a new emotional offering or a new opportunity that comes in that feels emotionally overflowing. This is the thing that actually feels good to us. So something tells me that we're getting honest with ourselves here with the Page of Swords, or we've got some information, some opportunity coming in for us that would be really right up our alley, or something that would make us really happy to be able to go do. And there may be some conflict on the home front about wanting to go do this, or whether to go do something, whether to make this change or take this opportunity. What is the advice there, please? One more for that. The Eight of Swords. So this card is asking us to to remove delusions or remove any self-illusions. It could be very well that we're thinking that there is more upset or more conflict than there really needs to be, or that I'm getting the feeling that we've made a situation more difficult for ourselves than we need it to be with this. like the difficulties surrounding making this change or taking this opportunity, following the thing that really makes us feel good, the Eight of Cups. Um, it's a self-imposed restriction. It's a self-limiting belief. There's not as much conflict around it as we're making it out to be, or some way in which we've handled it is actually is more conflicty than it needs to be. It's a mental conflict we're having around the home. On the center here, we have the Queen of Wands coming up on Hecate here with the Hierophant. So really stepping into our passion, shining our light, following our passions. She's got the sunflower there, which is usually symbology for turning your face towards the sun or moving towards what it is that brings you happiness. And kind of a bold and unencumbered is what's coming through. And they want you to be unencumbered with this work situation. Eight of Pentacles coming in. There's an opportunity to really shine in whatever it is you do, or whatever it is you've been working on. It doesn't necessarily have to be career oriented, but just something that we've been pouring energy into or been working on. And there's an opportunity for you to to make a turning point or to take a crossroads into something that's really satisfying here. But we're kind of needing to shine our light in a more bold and unencumbered way. Seven of Pentacles. Yeah. Eight of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles. I feel like there's been a need to have some patience and cultivation here. And I feel like we've kind of feel like, is the effort futile? Let's get one more on that, please. What is the outcome? Justice coming in with this. So it looks like there will be payout for all of the effort that we've been pouring into something here. With the Hierophant coming in, it feels like there has been a need to build up the knowledge or a need to build up the learning. And maybe it feels like Seven of Pentacles, like it's been a long time. What do I do with all of this learning is kind of what I'm feeling like. Or where is this leading? When I was doing the pre-shuffle, we did have the Moon card and the Two of Cups come up on the split. So it could be that whatever all of this that we've been building and working towards, we're maybe not quite sure how it pays off. We're maybe looking for that Two of Cups, looking for something that's a perfect match that feels purposeful. But with Justice coming in, there is a balancing of the scales. Everything that we've been through, everything we've been working on is not in vain. We just needed to build up the knowledge base that we needed to really be able to shine and move forward with it. What are our resources over here? We've got the Lovers coming in. What else with it, please? And the Ten of Cups. Well, I like the vibe of that thus far. What is the third one on this, please? And then we speak on it. And the Chariot. So yes, it looks like with the resources, like what we have, the ingenuity is wanting us to use our creative and mental capacity. What we have going for us is the energy that we've built up around around our happiness or around our, I feel like somebody has spent a long time, a long patient time working on and cultivating whatever their manifestation is. We've got the Lovers, we've got the Ten of Cups and the Chariot. So it feels like we're needing to, we've got what it takes. We've got the energy momentum build up to actually make some moves towards the things that we are wanting to manifest here. Now with the Lovers, of course, it can be a literal relationship. We've been working on manifesting love, a perfect match. But it could also be that the resources that we have available to us here are aspects in unison the divine masculine, the divine feminine, and our higher self, like all of self working in tandem together, getting in alignment with all of our aspects. And there was something that I got earlier that was like definitely the lovers can also be a card of choice. And I definitely got something in earlier about it was like we need to be clear with ourselves that we're actually choosing this. It does feel like with the conflict and the self-limiting beliefs happening over here on the card of domesticity, it could be that the current situation we're in or whatever our current surroundings are feels like a trap or like it's set, it's not movable, it's not changeable. So we've been having some mental or some internal conflict over this ace of cups, what it is we really want, the opportunity for happiness, for the 10 of cups, and for the lovers over here. I feel like somebody and especially with the way the image looks with her face on this card, like peering into her cauldron here and all of these things, I feel like somebody's really been daydreaming and cultivating the imagining of what it is we really want with the 10 of cups and the lovers here and the chariot. It feels like love, happiness, and adventure. And the wheel of fortune coming up with that. Yes. It's a turning of the wheel, and there is an opportunity coming to actually step into, for whatever reason, the center of the wheel of fortune looks like a portal to me. A portal to the sun. If you look at it, that's what it's kind of giving right now. I feel like there's an opportunity to combine all of these things that we've been dreaming of and thinking of and let go of some of these limiting beliefs. And it does have to do with being a little less inhibited about it. It feels like maybe we think what we really want and all of our imaginings are unrealistic or can't actually happen. We've been having some internal self-conflict because of the way our life is currently set up. Yes. I love it. The number 8 card, it says, I'm not underestimating my own magic anymore. Power beginnings and transformations. Too bright? Is it too dark? I don't know. Why don't I just put it down? That way you can see it. Absolutely. And I like that this comes out first on top of this card where we've got all of these limiting beliefs happening and conflict happening within ourselves. And this 8 card comes up and says we are not underestimating our own magic anymore. Beautiful. Thank you, my friends. We have got the number 12 card, Spirit of the Tree, Nature, Priestess, Inner Peace. If you're in need of a lesson, there is wisdom in the trees. And the last one is number 40, Sweet Oblivion. It says uncertainty, fate, and humor. It says, it's okay, I don't know what I'm doing either. I love it. So yeah, and that kind of relates back to seeing the moon card coming out earlier is I think I feel what it feels like is somebody has a big imagination or a lot of like happy or like kind of grandiose imaginings, right? But there's been like a lot of energy put behind it. Like somebody really likes their fantasy world, right? Um and I feel like there has been there's been some internal conflict because the imaginings have been kind of grandiose or don't actually seem very realistic, that we didn't think that uh, there was actually a path or actually the resources that we needed in order to make things actually happen. Um, or we can't really see the path to making this stuff happen. We can't see where the portal is or how to bring these resources together. But I feel like what they're trying to let us know right now is that the imaginings you're observing of the energy or being in the energy is the portal. Um, and with this sweet oblivion card and coming up with this inner peace card, the spirit of the tree, I feel like just releasing some of that, right? Like we don't need to know how it works out. We just need to enjoy the feeling of it. Be at peace with it. Because we do have a balancing or justice coming in with it. Things always weigh out energetically is what I'm kind of seeing is like it looks like in my head there's so much energy and cultivation on one side of the scale, and it's like those scales have to balance energetically. That's just how it works. It can't be completely full of hopes and dreams and all of this energy and momentum and then just not get filled in with that, with the 3D materialization. Like only if we're holding it down that way because we're having resistances to it. But when justice comes in, it comes in, it has to come in. The scales have to balance. We have the King of Pentacles coming in on this magic card. New beginnings, transformation, and power. King of Pentacles is definitely an earthly power, a power of abundance and having the resources he needs. Let's see what else is coming in. The Page of Cups. And the Six of Cups. Well, I feel like this Six of Cups is the transformation of the energy that's happening here. This is sometimes read as a nostalgia card, but I'm kind of feeling like playfulness or inner child energy. And again, allowing for that imagination to come into play, like over here where we've got a lot of momentum behind the things that we really kind of play with in our imagination and we want. I feel like with the Page of Cups is make that offer, make that emotional offering of that childlike imagination, utilize that as your power. Like with the King of Pentacles here, like that is your resource, is to make that energetic offering that is that childlike imagination, um uninhibited, unrestrained. Didn't I say that with the Queen of uh the Queen of Wands earlier? And we've got the Hierophant coming in again. Double Hierophant. And the Knight of Cups wanted to jump out and fall on the floor. So the Hierophant can also represent marriage. So it could be, I mean, take it if it resonates for you, if this is about a marriage or your marriage or the wanting of a marriage, because it is coming like the Knight of Cups wants to jump out with it too. So there is a lot of, usually these cards are a message coming in that has love connotations or heart space connotations, something that really fills our cup, makes us feel emotional or overflowing. But I feel like it really gave me earlier the feeling of this is something to learn. Like this is something we're learning. Like learning to wield your power, your spiritual authority. Because the Hierophant is a spiritual authority. So the inner child here is your spiritual authority. Like, allow them to play. Don't worry about the practicality of things in this particular instance. I think being in our head about about worrying over the practical or the conflict that it would cause, or it would shake up the home front, however that's going, like all of that worry is really a block to our Ace of Cups here. Just be in just be in your head and your happy place about it. Let's get this stuff under the spirit of the tree. The Hanged Man coming up with that. And he's upside down tied to a tree so that he can gain some enlightenment or some knowledge. He's taking a break out and thinking about it. And these are coming up on top of that crossroads card with Hecate here, a turning point happening and justice coming in. I think the fastest way to make this decision or to really know what you want is to chill out and get out of your head about it. Look at things from a different perspective. Almost a more playful perspective, like I said. The Ace of Pentacles, because there's an idea or an opportunity that's waiting in the wings of your mind, a message coming in. I did feel like Hecate had something to share with you about that. A light to shine on it, some insider information that would actually help just clear things up a lot faster for you. And I was getting like heavy opportunity energy with the Page of Swords too, which is odd a little bit. It's usually Page of Swords is usually a messenger of truth or clarity in some way, but it felt more like an opportunity to strike, like opportunity strikes. The Eight of Cups coming in with that. One more, please. Help me out, help me out. One more. And death. Okay, well, they were like, yeah, well, if Eight of Cups isn't good enough for you, let's just be more clear. So we've got the Eight of Cups and the Death card coming in with that. Well, I think the opportunity here is to be very clear and change perspective on what it is that's just over for us and what it is we need to walk away from. This may be literal. It may be literal things that we need to walk away from at this point. Change of scenery, change our living situation. Again, take it if it applies to you. You're going to know if that's true for you. But coming up here with the Hanged Man, I think it's the death of a perspective, or the death of a timeline, the death of an old self. We're just not that person anymore. It is kind of interesting. I was out gardening earlier. It's kind of like my happy meditative place. How I sit under trees is out doing gardening. And I kind of had the thought strike me a little bit that it's interesting how like society, like human society, expects you to like get a job, be a career, stay there, buy a home, live there for the rest of your life, marry a person, stay with that person for the rest of your life. It's like the expectation is so static, but humans are so changing, so changeable, like we evolve constantly. And so it's interesting. I did get that through earlier when I was gardening, something about like humans evolve and change and grow and morph throughout the journey. We're just not the same person all the time, but yet there's an expectation or this idea that we're supposed to just to stay static in our life, in our living situation, in our careers, in our relationships. It's like for some reason the storyline, maybe this Eight of Swords here, the storyline is like we're supposed to stay the same. And I think this reading is saying we've already changed. We've already changed and outgrown the situation or the old story of self here. We've got the devil coming up. Sweet oblivion. Uncertainty, fate, and humor. Ah, all right. Let's see where this is going. Let us know. Who's the devil? What is the devil here? We've got the Page of Wands. The Ace of Wands. Oh dear. And the Two of Pentacles. There's no knowing where we're rowing or which way the river is flowing. Okay, so this this base card has a lot of like uncertainty with it, and it's kind of pointing out the fact to be a little lighthearted about it or be a little humorous about it. None of us quite know. Nobody knows what we're doing here. Let's be real, right? Like we're all just humans humaning and making it up as we go and trying to get to where we want to be, right? So there really isn't a need to be super hard on yourself about it. You've got the Page of Wands, the Ace of Wands coming up with the Devil and the Two of Pentacles. I feel like there is going to be a need to balance some energy here, or I'm kind of getting like dancing back and forth on it a little bit is what it's giving. Maybe we've got some wishy-washy on it. We need to be sure this is what we really want. This is it feels like this to decide upon it would be a pretty big life change. And I'm feeling like the temptation here or the devil energy that's in it for us is like yeah. So, okay. One of these narratives needs to die or be the death card or is what we need to walk away from. Because it feels like we've got significantly split energy. It's almost like whoever this is for, whoever this is speaking to in whatever way, we've almost cultivated in our imagination a very different life than what the reality of our life is. It's like we are almost two completely separate people. And one of them doesn't quite feel real. And at this point, we're borderline on which one of them we're actually embodying. If you're going to know if this is you, right? Because this is kind of specific. If your quote unquote real life feels detached or not even, it doesn't even quite feel as real to you as the imaginary self is, if that feels more like who you are, then it's time to move or make some changes. I feel like the devil energy here is dancing back and forth between two, being wishy-washy on it, dancing back and forth between two things. Is we've really cultivated a lot of energy, a lot of passion with the Page of Wands coming in and the Ace of Wands coming in. There is the opportunity to move on it. So let's not be dancing back and forth on it or be wishy-washy. One of these things does not feel real. One of these selves doesn't feel real anymore, and we have to be clear with ourselves about which one it is that we need to walk away from. That was a lot. Sorry. All right. The High Priestess. Yeah. Sit under that tree, get into some of that inner peace, you utilize that hangman energy and use your intuition. There is some help and some light that wants to shine in on the situation. But I think in this stillness, you'll be able to feel which of these paths really feels genuine and solid, and I feel like we'll get a closing message here, but I feel like I can't really tell you which one it is for this. Nobody can. I feel like even spirit can't. We create our own reality, right? We're writing the story as we go. So it has to be what you want. It has to be your choice ultimately. And I think that's right and that's fair. And I'm drawn to the justice card too, because like ultimately if our choices aren't our own, if we are not creating our reality, how can we be responsible for it at the end? Like how can there be any justice if we're not the ones making the decisions for ourselves? So I wish I had more light to shine on it. I wish I could tell you which choice is the right choice here, but what I feel like I can say I want to say, or maybe I don't know, maybe I'm being asked to say, is that at least personally, I would rather go for it and fall on my face than to have never tried. At the end of the day, we are adding to the experience of the soul here. So you may as well dream big and go for it, right? All right, let's get a closing message. Please, my friends, what can we let people know? We've got the number 22 card, Initiation by Fire. It certainly seems like it, huh? Let's read it. Keep an eye out for those twos. They may be significant. They may be cropping up in those license plates or in those times, all that fun stuff. Initiation by fire is a life-changing spiritual cleansing. Your life will never be the same again. Allow the power of divine fire to clear and purify you inside and out. This is not a time to hold on to anything, no matter how much you once believed you needed it. In letting go, you will gain so much more than you ever imagined, opening a fresh blessing and a new life. You are like the phoenix, ready to emerge from the holy flames reborn. The invocation for this card, if you want to be able to use it for yourself at this time, is through my own free will, I choose to trust in the sacred fire to cleanse my soul, my mind, and my body. I have the spirit and the power of the phoenix in me. My spirit will be triumphant, rising up out of the sacred divine fire. So I surrender my life into the holy fire of love. That which no longer serves me may be cleansed from my being, and rapid growth of a new life can flow through me. May I be held in tenderness, mercy, and grace as I successfully pass through the initiation by fire into the loving, fearless power of my own divine nature. May all beings, through divine mercy, be free to love, so be it. Thank you, my friends, for that message and for working with us. We appreciate you always. Thank you, my friends, for being here. I appreciate you always. Like, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. Spread the energy around. We will see you next time and have fun with this one. This is a lot of energy, and yeah, I was kind of feeling like sometimes surrender to it, go for it, right? That's what we came down here for, right? Have a good one. Be blessed. We'll see you later.